Everyone, Brent here again. As founder of the law firm, again, I want to thank all of you for retaining our law firm to help you with your legal problem. As you know from receiving newsletters from us in the past, we do these quarterly as an across-the-board update, mostly for all of our clients to understand the most recent developments associated to their particular litigation, but also to help everyone understand just what's going on out in their legal community and what our law firm is doing to address some of the issues that our society has to deal with on a national level. For instance, we were heavily involved with a lot of youth addiction issues in social media now, with the video gaming and with improper online betting. This is cutting-edge litigation that we're heavily involved in now. We're working with legislators and our lobbyists in Washington as part of that process. And we're now starting to work with some of the medical community, the physicians involved in treatment of particularly youth-related issues and addiction-related issues associated to digital streaming, Facebook, social media apps, the video games, etc., have been sounding alarm bells for a number of years now. There's been a significant increase in the number of childhood development issues, adverse developmental issues. As a result of this, we know that the industry, from the very first cases that have gone to trial now and the documents obtained, were well aware of what was going on and the negative impact a lot of their products were having, particularly with youth. But as youth get addicted to these products, they carry it into adulthood, which is not much different than how the tobacco industry used to target minors, knowing that if they got them smoking as minors, they were much more likely to smoke as adults. So all of this is all based on the industry manipulating the algorithms within their apps to enhance and increase the amount of time people watch it. And it starts with use. In fact, we now know, even though Zuckerberg testified in Congress and other people did in initial investigations months ago by Congress, we now know from our records of internal industry documents that these industries deliberately target minors to get them hooked on their products. And when I'm saying minors, we're talking about preteens. They call them tweens, and we've got the documents where they talk about we're dealing with kids, we're dealing with addiction, and we're dealing with pre-teenagers that we need to get addicted to these products, and they'll be lifelong customers. So there's a very dirty underbelly of the industry in doing this, which is why some of them have become whistleblowers now. There's a great Netflix documentary out right now called Social Dilemma. I encourage all of our clients to watch that because that documentary, it's Netflix has had it on recently. I think it's still available. But it has the industry insiders who had a conscience and left that industry, the tech industry, and talked candidly in the documentary about what the industry was doing. So again, this is coming firsthand from people that were high up in those industries that at least had enough of conscience to get out of it because of what they were doing wrong. So we're at the very forefront of that litigation and where it will go. And it's very exciting litigation. It's very tragic in a way, though. But the main thing is that my law firm and the few other law firms that have taken a leadership role in this nationally are helping publicize this issue. Certainly the trials now will help publicize that. We have several more trials that are coming later this year. So a lot going on there. In addition, as our newsletter will reflect right now, there's been, unfortunately, several more recent chemical spills and refinery explosions, which we do a lot of that type of work. The Valero plant in Port Arthur blew up recently, just in the last few weeks, and we were able to get a restraining order and an injunction in place on that case. We represent over 1,000 clients now that have either property damage or personal injuries from being on site as either employees or contractors when the plant blew up, or people that lived in the nearby vicinity and were impacted from the blast. We've seen a lot of people with complaints from smoke inhalation from the massive amount of toxic hydrocarbons that burned out of it, as well as people that are having audiology problems from the massive concussive effect of the explosion. So again, we're early on in that litigation, but it's not much different from every other plant explosion that we've had to deal with in the past, but that's going on. There are a number of other good updates regarding cases that we've now been able to settle. Our Astroworld litigation, we were involved in the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival, represented a large number of the people that were involved in the stampede and the trampling of that event a couple of years ago. And we undertook a leadership role in that litigation and have now successfully concluded all of those cases. We also had the ITC refinery and terminal incident several years ago, and we had 1,000 clients there. And the good news is we've now successfully and completely resolved that case as it relates to all of our clients. So these cases that involve hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands of people sometimes take a number of years to get resolved. But the good news is we push them as fast as we can. And for the ones that we had in-house that are several years old now, they're either reaching conclusion or have successfully concluded. And in those ones that we have settled, every one of our clients was able to get a recovery. So we're batting 1,000 there right now with those dockets. So we have more detailed information on each of these dockets from myself or the other lawyers involved as part of the newsletter. And again, thank you for entrusting your legal matter to us. And we hope you find this newsletter informative. Thank you.
You've been watching a litigation update with Brent Kuhn and Associates. Brent Kuhn and Associates is a nationally recognized law firm and the epitome of the 21st century law practice. The firm has built its reputation on the satisfaction of its clients and the respect of both colleagues and opponents. Our mission is to help ensure that individuals' rights are protected and their well-being respected. For more information about Brent Kuhn and Associates and current litigation, please visit bkuhnlaw.com.